364 eggs. That's not a typo. That is one hen holding the historical world record. She laid an egg almost every single day for an entire year, 364 times. And here's what makes that number genuinely interesting. Most backyard farmers who own chickens right now will never see that kind of production. Not because they're bad farmers, not because they're feeding the wrong things or managing poorly, because they're raising the wrong breed. That's it. The entire difference between a flock that produces consistently year after year and one that disappoints you comes down to a single decision. It is a decision most people make before they even set up a co-op, a decision made at a feed store or an online hatchery. It is based on whatever was available, whatever looked nice, or whatever someone recommended without knowing anything about your specific situation. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 laying breeds that consistently outperform everything else in backyard and small farm settings. And I'm going to tell you something the breed comparison videos almost never say. Which one is actually right for your specific climate, space, and goals? Because the best laying hen in the world placed in the wrong environment will underperform a mediocre breed placed in the right one. Every time. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you in the next few minutes will change how you think about your flock permanently. When I started keeping chickens, I made the same mistake almost everyone makes. I bought whatever the feed store had. A mix of breeds, no real plan, no understanding of what each bird was actually bred to do. Some were dual purpose, some were ornamental, some were old heritage breeds selected over generations for temperament, not production. I had 12 hens. At peak, I was getting 6 eggs a day. On bad days, 3. I assumed that was just how chickens worked. Then I visited a neighbor who kept 20 hens. Same feed, same management style, same climate. She was getting 17 eggs a day. Consistently through winter, through the hot months, month after month. The difference wasn't management, it wasn't feed, it was breed selection. Every single one of her birds was chosen specifically for laying performance in our climate. And the result was a flock that produced nearly 3 times what mine did from 40% fewer birds. I went home and researched breed selection properly for the first time, and what I found completely reframed how I think about poultry. Because the difference between breeds is not small, it is enormous, and most beginning farmers have no idea. Here's what the breed comparison videos don't tell you. The real factors that determine whether a breed performs in your flock. And then I'll give you the 5 breeds that consistently win on all of them. Before I give you the breeds, I want to give you the framework. Because picking a breed without answering these 3 questions first is exactly how most farmers end up disappointed. Question 1. What is your climate? This is the most overlooked factor in breed selection and the one with the most dramatic impact on production. A breed that lays 300 eggs per year in a temperate climate may lay 200 in extreme heat, or struggle through a cold northern winter without supplemental heat. Some breeds are exceptionally cold-hardy, others are built for heat. Very few perform well at both extremes without management support. If you are in a consistently hot climate, you need a bird with a large comb and light body mass, both of which aid in heat dissipation. If you are in a cold climate, you need a bird with a small rose comb that won't get frostbitten, and you need a heavier body that retains warmth. This single factor eliminates half the breeds on most recommendation lists before you even start comparing production numbers. Question 2. What do you actually need from the bird? Eggs only or eggs plus meat? A dedicated layer breed will outperform a dual-purpose breed on eggs by a meaningful margin, but a dedicated layer breed will give you almost nothing if you process it for meat. If you want both, you need to choose accordingly and accept that you're making a compromise on both outputs. Question 3. How long do you need consistent production? Some breeds peak early and decline fast. A hybrid layer breed may outperform everything in year 1 and become almost unproductive by year 3. A heritage breed may produce less in peak years, but maintain consistent production for 4, 5, or even 6 years. For a farmer building a long-term self-sufficient system, that longevity has real economic value that the first-year production numbers completely hide. Answer those 3 questions honestly before you pick a breed. Now let's look at the 5 that consistently win. Breed number 5, the Sussex. If consistency and longevity are your priorities, and for most small farmers building a long-term system, they should be, the Sussex belongs on your short list. This is an English breed with a history of working farm production stretching back generations. It lays between 250 and 300 brown eggs per year under good conditions. That number is not the highest on this list, but here's what makes it remarkable. The Sussex maintains that production for 4 to 5 years consistently. Most dedicated layer breeds begin declining significantly after year 2. The Sussex is also genuinely dual purpose. A hen that has finished her productive laying years still provides a meaningful carcass. In an integrated farm system where nothing is wasted, this matters. Cold hardiness is excellent. The Sussex handles northern winters without supplemental heat better than almost any other breed on this list. For farmers in temperate or cold climates, this makes it a genuinely low-maintenance choice. The honest downside, it is not the highest producer in peak year 1. If you need maximum eggs immediately, there are better options. If you're building something designed to last, the Sussex is one of the most reliable choices you can make. But what if you need a bird that performs in cold winters and lays consistently for years? Stay with me, because breed number 4 solves that specific problem better than almost anything else. Breed number 4, the Barred Plymouth Rock. The Barred Rock is the breed I most consistently recommend to farmers who tell me they want reliability above everything else. It lays between 250 and 280 brown eggs per year. It is exceptionally cold hardy. The rose-adjacent comb and heavy feathering make it one of the most winter-resistant breeds available. It forages actively, which means in a rotational grazing system, it will find a meaningful portion of its own nutrition, reducing feed costs noticeably. But here is what most breed comparison videos miss about the Barred Rock. It is genuinely calm. In a mixed flock, it integrates without the aggression issues that affect some high-production breeds. For farmers who handle their birds regularly or who are new to poultry and still building confidence, this matters more than most people admit. The Barred Rock is also a capable brooder, meaning if you want a self-sustaining flock that hatches its own replacements, this breed can do it reliably. A hen that raises her own successors removes the need to continuously source new birds, which has real long-term value in a closed farm system. Honest downside, it is not a warm climate bird. In sustained heat above 35 degrees without shade and ventilation, production drops noticeably. If you are in a hot climate, do not choose this breed. Speaking of heat, the next breed on this list was specifically built for it, and its production numbers in warm climates are genuinely difficult to beat. Breed number 3, the White Leghorn. The Leghorn is the breed the commercial egg industry built itself on, and there is a reason for that. A White Leghorn in good condition lays between 280 and 320 white eggs per year. That production rate, maintained consistently, makes it the highest volume layer of any naturally occurring breed on this list. Its small body size means it converts feed to eggs more efficiently than heavier breeds. Less of what you feed goes to maintaining body mass. More goes to egg production. The Leghorn's large single comb, which most cold climate breeds avoid, functions as a radiator in heat. Blood circulates through the comb and releases heat, keeping the bird comfortable in temperatures that would push heavier breeds into heat stress and production decline. For farmers in warm or hot climates, this is a genuine physiological advantage that shows up directly in year-round production consistency. Here is what most people don't tell you about Leghorns. They are active, intelligent, and excellent foragers. In a rotational system where birds move through different areas of your land, Leghorns will find more of their own food than almost any other breed. They fly, which requires either covered runs or clipped wings, but their activity and foraging behavior is an asset in a managed free-range system, not a liability. Honest downside, Leghorns are not cold-hardy. The large comb is susceptible to frostbite and sustained freezing temperatures. They are also vocal. The most noise-sensitive farmers or those in close suburban settings may find them challenging. And they do not go broody, which means your flock does not self-replace without an incubator. Now, what if you want the production of a Leghorn but in a brown egg that many markets price higher? That's exactly what breed number 2 was engineered to deliver. Breed number 2, the Lohmann Brown. The Lohmann Brown is a German hybrid developed specifically for commercial brown egg production, and it is the most productive brown egg layer in existence. A well-managed Lohmann Brown lays more than 300 large brown eggs per year. It reaches peak production quickly and maintains it for longer than most hybrid breeds. Up to 80 weeks of sustained high output under commercial conditions, and significantly longer under lower-intensity small farm management. What makes the Lohmann Brown particularly interesting for small farms is its temperament. Unlike many high-production hybrids that can be nervous or aggressive, the Lohmann is calm, easy to handle, and adapts well to various housing systems. It integrates into mixed flocks without significant issues. The honest limitation is the one shared by all hybrid breeds. Because the Lohmann Brown is a crossbred hybrid, you cannot breed a true. The offspring of 2 Lohmann Browns will not reliably reproduce the same production characteristics. This means you are dependent on hatcheries for replacement stock, which removes the self-sufficiency element that heritage breeds provide. For a farmer who wants maximum egg production, easy management, and is comfortable sourcing replacement birds periodically, the Lohmann Brown is the single highest performing brown egg layer available anywhere. And then there is breed number 1, the breed that produced that 364 egg record, the breed that somehow combines record-breaking production with the temperament of a pet and the hardiness of a working farm animal. Breed number 1, the Australorp. The Australorp is, by any honest measure, the most complete laying breed available to the backyard farmer today. Under good management, a modern Australorp lays consistently between 250 and 300 eggs per year. The 364 egg figure is a historical world record that represents what this breed is capable of at its absolute peak, a number that has never been matched by any other naturally occurring breed under equivalent conditions. Most birds will not reach that number in normal farm settings, but the fact that the breed's biology is capable of it tells you something important about its underlying productivity. What separates the Australorp from every other breed on this list is the combination of traits it brings simultaneously: cold-hardy, heat-tolerant to a meaningful degree, calm and friendly. Genuinely one of the easiest breeds to handle of any high-production layer. Dual purpose. The body conformation provides a real carcass when the bird finishes its laying years, and it goes broody, meaning a well-managed Australorp flock can replace itself without an incubator, which is the foundation of a truly self-sufficient poultry operation. For the farmer building a long-term integrated system, the kind of system we have been building across this entire series, the Australorp's combination of production, temperament, hardiness, and self-replacement capability makes it the closest thing to a perfect small farm-laying breed. Honest limitation: like all heritage breeds, its peak production in year 1 will not match the Lohmann Brown or a high-production commercial hybrid. If maximum eggs in the shortest time is your only metric, a hybrid will outperform it in year 1. If you are measuring across 5 years of consistent production with lower inputs and no dependence on external hatcheries, the Australorp wins comprehensively. Here is how to actually apply this, because choosing a breed is only half the decision. The most important thing most breed comparison videos never say: a mixed flock outperforms a single breed flock for year-round consistency. Different breeds peak at different times of year, Different breeds respond differently to seasonal light changes. A flock of 3 Australorps, 3 Lohman Browns, and 4 Barred Rocks will produce more consistently across 12 months than 12 birds of any single breed, because the production curves of different breeds complement each other across seasons. If you are in a cold climate, Australorp and Barred Rock as your core, supplemented with Sussex for longevity. If you are in a hot climate, White Leghorn as your primary layer, with Australorp for temperament and dual-purpose value. If you want maximum production immediately, Lohman Brown as your primary, with Australorp for self-replacement capability. If you want a self-sustaining flock that requires minimal external input, Australorp as your core breed, with Sussex for longevity and backup production. On supplemental lighting, every breed on this list benefits from supplemental lighting in winter. 14 to 16 hours of combined natural and artificial light per day is the threshold for consistent year-round production, as we covered in detail in our egg production video. Without it, even the best breed on this list will drop production significantly, from October through February in northern latitudes. With it, all 5 breeds on this list will produce year-round with minimal seasonal variation. On feed, every breed on this list requires adequate calcium for consistent production. Free choice crushed oyster shell or dried eggshells, available at all times in a separate container, costs almost nothing. It prevents the single most common nutritional cause of production decline. Do not mix it into the feed. Allow birds to self-regulate. Protein at 16 to 18% is the minimum for consistent laying. Below that threshold, production declines regardless of breed. Here is how breed selection connects to the integrated farm system we have been building across the series. The Australorp's ability to go broody and raise its own chicks means your chicken component of the system becomes genuinely self-sustaining over time. You stop purchasing replacement birds. Your flock management becomes a closed loop. The foraging behavior of active breeds, Leghorns and Barred Rocks particularly, means that in a rotational system behind goats or cattle, they find meaningful nutrition independently. Feed costs drop, soil fertility improves, the system tightens. The manure from a well-managed laying flock of 15 to 20 birds provides significant nitrogen input to a garden system, enough to meaningfully reduce or eliminate fertilizer costs on a home-scale vegetable operation. And the dual-purpose breeds on this list, Sussex, Barred Rock, Australorp, ensure that when hens finish their productive laying years, they contribute one final output to the system rather than representing a disposal problem. Nothing wasted, everything connected. That is the system. 5 breeds, 1 framework. 3 questions that determine which is right for you. The best laying hen in the world placed in the wrong environment will underperform a mediocre breed placed in the right one. Get the breed right for your specific situation and then manage it properly, and the production numbers will follow. If this video helped you make a clearer decision about your flock, hit the like button. It helps this channel reach more farmers who are working through the same questions. Subscribe to Livestock Mastery. In our next video, we are going to cover the 7 herbs that keep chickens healthy naturally. I will show you exactly how to grow your own free natural medicine cabinet to keep your flock disease-free without expensive vet bills. That is a video you do not want to miss. Tell me in the comments, which breed are you running right now? And which one are you switching to after watching this? And I know half of you are typing, what about the Rhode Island Red right now? Let me know in the comments why you think it should have beaten the Sussex or the Barred Rock. I read every comment and I will answer yours.